Hello, I'm Judy Martin. Welcome to the Work-Life Monitor. Today we go beyond the typical working climate to the true meaning of human capital in these radically changing times. Corporate America is fiercely competitive. We're all on information overload, and generally profit comes first. But there are companies out there that are more interested in their human capital, in the well-being of their employees. The International Spirit at Work Award honors organizations and companies that are engaged in the heart of business. Values, ethics, diversity, culture, understanding, tolerance. How are companies using these principles in business and at work? The International Center for Spirit at Work aims to study such principles as models of organizational development, focusing on greater meaning and purpose within the business dynamic. Defining that model can be challenging. For 3 decades, author and businessman John Renish has been writing and speaking on organizational and social transformation.
But it's a not particularly religion, not any one religion, but it's a way of being connected to something beyond ourselves, recognizing our interconnection amongst all of us as well. So it's interconnection of all people and connection with some higher power, some greater source of energy. Some people may call that nature, some people may call that God, some people may call that whatever, humanity.
And Judy Neal says it's in exalting that humanity that big business can be a leader in globally raising consciousness. She adds there are many paths to that end.
As I listen to each of the different organizations, there isn't just one way or one right way to implement spirituality in the workplace. And there isn't one right organization. There isn't one country where it's easy to do. It's just really come home as a message that there's such a diversity of ways to integrate spirituality and work, and there's a unity of its impact. There's such a heart-opening and release of positive energy that comes from all these different methods, all these different organizations, all these different people, that the quality of the energy is the same. The expression of it is different.
Capturing that expression is the mission of a communications and marketing service called Spiral Story. Spiral Story taps into the power of personal storytelling to inspire individual growth and change. Jatine Desai of Desai founded the program and is also on the board of the International Center for Spirit at Work, which sponsors the annual awards conference.
The idea of the inner world hasn't been valued by what we now value in terms of the organizational wealth. Organizational wealth and success is not measured by the inside, the heart. It's measured by what we produce, what we create, what we disseminate, and how we make profits. So, in other words, intangible assets aren't valued.
The concept can be somewhat challenging by traditional corporate standards. For example, the intangibles of intention, core values, and spirituality are difficult to quantify in an environment where company spreadsheets are generally king. Cindy Wigglesworth was the consultant to the Methodist healthcare system when that organization received the award in 2002. She currently sits on the board of the International Center for Spirit at Work.
Developing your spiritual self, or transcending your ego nature, creates a tremendous space in your mind that used to be filled with the noise of anxiety and confusion. And so most of my clients find they're far more productive, they are less stressed, and for the most part, their families find them a lot easier to be around as a result of doing this work. And when people start talking at that level of depth and authenticity, they're amazed at the similarity of their shared collective values.
The ISAW conference honored companies and organizations that are working towards social transformation, but this event also held the place for the learning of policies, practices, and protocol that help to nurture spirituality within an organization. The conference offered networking with like-minded others who are pioneers in this movement through intimate gatherings, open-minded discussions, meditation, and even the walking of a labyrinth. Participants connected on a level not generally tapped into at corporate events. The highlight, the International Spirit at Work Awards.
Invariably, each of us want to feel connected. And a spiritual principle is a sense of connection and relationship, if you want, oneness. And so all of us in our heart really long for a deeper sense of connection. And, and the pursuit of happiness, fast-paced, you don't always get that. And so if you can just speak with people in languages that will allow folks to feel safe, open their hearts, open their minds, feel connected with one another, I think it's vitally important.
What does an award like this mean for your organization?
I think it's recognition that we're on the right track. It's recognition that the things that matter to us, that we believe make a difference, both to the program participants we work with and to our staff, that it's the right way to be going. So it's confirmation in that sense.
But the end product generally must meet the expectation of the business benchmarks in terms of profit. In the changing world we live in, however, some would argue the business model has no choice but to shift and raise awareness of global and human concerns.
There's a risk, but I'm not sure the risk is going to happen from some perspective. I believe events are going to force change. I believe the excuse that we have to make money or all these other excuses we create out there are going to start beginning to change to one of the planet and the societies we live in, I believe are getting close to the tipping point, close to a shift of energy.
Where does the journey of, if you don't want to call it spirituality, values-driven culture begin? It starts very much at the board and at the CEO levels. It's their intention, it's their purity, they are the nucleus to begin that journey.
Right here, in this moment, in this conference, there's so much energy being exchanged, and I'll never know what seeds are planted or how they're going to grow. But all of us are here feeling like something different is emerging out of this. It's going to make a difference.
Thanks for joining us for the Work-Life Monitor. I'm Judy Martin.